Welcome to the Omnidental podcast.
Hello, everyone.
We're your guides today, taking a close look at something really, really important for your overall health.
That's right. We're talking about the risks of, neglecting dental problems and why getting prompt care is just so essential.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're drawing our insights today from Omnidental. They're a trusted family dental practice right here in Arlington Heights, Illinois.
Led by Dr. Belisis Poles, DDS, they really focus on top-tier care, looking at immediate needs, but also, your long-term oral health. It's all very personalized.
Exactly. So in this deep dive, we're going to unpack how seemingly small dental issues, things you might ignore, can actually snowball.
Right. Into much bigger concerns. We'll cover the potential dangers like infections, tooth loss.
And also some maybe surprising ways your oral health connects to, well, the rest of your body. It's all based on information from the Omnidental website and their blog post, The Risks of Untreated Dental Problems, Why Prompt Care is Essential.
It's fascinating how something that might just start as a little twinge, or maybe some sensitivity.
Yeah, barely noticeable sometimes.
Right. How that can actually be the early warning sign of something more significant brewing.
Yeah.
The info from Omnidental really highlights this. Problems often start subtly.
You think about it, maybe a bit of discomfort with hot or cold drinks, or your gums look just a touch redder.
It's really easy to just brush off, right, or
Well,
ignore.
Totally. You might think, oh, it'll go away, or maybe grab a pain reliever and figure that'll fix it.
But what we're seeing from Omnidental's insights is that these are often the first whispers, maybe, that something needs attention.
Whispers, yeah, I like that.
So take gum disease, for example, periodontal disease. It's essentially an infection of the gums.
Right, and it can damage the stuff holding your teeth in.
Exactly. The soft tissue, the bone.
Yeah.
It often starts with those really minor signs we mentioned. And if you leave it untreated, it doesn't just, stay minor. It gradually weakens that whole support structure.
And cavities, same sort of thing.
Pretty much. A cavity, tooth decay from bacteria might start as a tiny pit you can hardly even feel. But it just keeps going, steadily growing, and can eventually turn into a much more serious infection, sometimes needing something like a root canal.
Okay, so here's where it gets a bit, concerning. The speed at which these small things can escalate if you ignore them. Omnidental points this out pretty clearly.
Oh, absolutely. It could be quite remarkable, actually. What feels like just a minor annoyance today.
Could be a major headache tomorrow.
Exactly. That mild sensitivity could ramp up into really severe pain, or a small localized infection, maybe like an abscess.
That's like a pocket of pus, right, from bacteria.
A painful one. That can spread beyond just that one tooth. And just relying on pain meds.
Yeah.
Well, it hides the symptoms, sure.
But it doesn't fix the root cause.
No. It just lets the underlying problem get potentially worse, sometimes much worse.
Let's dig into those infections a bit more, because the Omnidental information suggests some pretty significant risks if you neglect them.
It's quite striking, actually, how an infection starting in your mouth can really have effects far beyond just your mouth.
Like what?
Well, take that abscessed tooth again. Bacteria from that infection can actually get into your bloodstream.
Wow. Okay. That sounds not good. You definitely want to avoid that. So where can those bacteria go?
Thinking about the body as a whole system, these bacteria aren't necessarily contained. They can travel.
Travel where?
To other parts.
Yeah.
The jaw, the neck. And in some, thankfully rare, but very serious cases, they can even reach the heart.
The heart, seriously.
Yes. And Omnidental's materials are right to emphasize this. These situations can become actual life-threatening medical emergencies. They need urgent care immediately.
It really drives home why ignoring something like persistent tooth pain, even if it comes and goes, can be just so risky.
It really does.
Okay, moving on. Another major consequence of ignoring dental problems. Tooth loss. It's not just about pain or infection then.
No, not at all. Untreated dental issues can basically set off a chain reaction, a cascade of events that leads to the slow destruction of your teeth and gums.
How does that work?
Well, think about it. Decay weakens the tooth itself, its structure. And gum disease causes the gums to pull back, to recede, and the bone underneath, the bone that actually holds the teeth steady, starts to deteriorate.
So it's usually not like, bam, the tooth falls out. It's more gradual.
Exactly. It's progressive. The Omnidental info explains how that K just keeps going, how gum recession speeds up if it's not treated,
And that loss of support.
leads to teeth getting loose, and eventually, yes, falling out or needing to be extracted.
And then you're looking at bigger fixes.
Right. Dealing with missing teeth often means more complex, potentially more costly solutions. Things like dental implants or dentures, which, are services OmniDental provides. But it's a much bigger undertaking than just dealing with the initial cavity or gum issue early on.
Now, here's a connection that I think might surprise some listeners. The link between our mouth health and our, well, overall body health. They're not totally separate things, are they?
No, absolutely not. This is a really crucial point. The insights from OmniDental strongly emphasize this connection. Oral health is very much integrated with our general health.
How so?
Well, untreated dental problems, especially things like gum disease, have been increasingly linked to some pretty serious systemic conditions.
Like what kind of conditions?
The sources specifically call out things like heart disease, diabetes, and even stroke.
Wow. How does that connection work?
A key factor seems to be inflammation. The chronic inflammation you get with gum disease, for instance. It doesn't just stay in your mouth.
It travels, like the bacteria.
Sort of, yeah. Inflammatory markers can enter the bloodstream and contribute to inflammation throughout the body, and that systemic inflammation is thought to increase the risk for these other major health problems.
So looking after your teeth and gums isn't just vanity. It's not just about a nice smile.
Not at all.
It's actually a proactive step for your broader physical well-being, too.
Precisely. Prompt dental care acts kind of like a preventive measure, not just for your mouth, but potentially reducing your risk of these more serious systemic issues down the road.
Okay, so we get why prompt care is vital. But how do you know? How does someone know when a dental issue is an I need help now emergency versus something that can wait for a regular appointment?
That's a great question. And OmniDental's information gives some really clear signals, some red flags, for when a problem needs urgent care. Signs you just shouldn't ignore.
Okay, what are some of those key warning signs, the ones that mean emergency?
All right, number one, persistent, sharp, or really severe tooth pain. That's a big one.
Got it.
Any swelling. In your mouth, sure, but also in your jaw or even your neck. That needs immediate attention.
Swelling. Okay.
Also, a tooth that's actually fractured or broken, or uncontrolled bleeding from your gums or anywhere in your mouth.
Bleeding that won't stop.
And any clear signs of infection.
Yeah.
That could be pus, having a fever along with mouth symptoms, or a persistent, really foul taste in your mouth.
Those all sound pretty serious. Definitely situations where you wouldn't want to just wait and see.
Absolutely not. The advice is clear. If you experience any of those symptoms, you really need to contact OmniDental right away or find an emergency dental provider.
Because waiting could make things much worse.
Exactly. Delaying treatment lets infections spread, potentially leading to much more complicated, harder to treat conditions.
Okay. Now let's shift to the other end of the spectrum. We've talked about emergencies, but OmniDental also really stresses just regular dental checkups. Why are these routine visits so important, even if you feel like everything's fine?
Yeah, this is key. Routine visits are basically the foundation of preventing those serious issues we've been talking about.
Prevention is better than cure, right?
Always. Regular professional cleanings, thorough exams, they let dental professionals spot the very early signs of trouble. Decay, gum disease, other damage, often long before you feel any pain or discomfort.
So they can catch things when they're small and easier to fix.
Precisely. The experienced team at OmniDental, Dr. Poles included, they're trained to see those subtle little indicators during a checkup, things you'd never notice yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And as their info highlights, that preventive care, it's not only better for your health long term, it's also significantly less expensive and way less invasive than dealing with emergencies or advanced problems later on.
Plus, I'd imagine going regularly helps you build a relationship with the dental team. You feel more comfortable.
That's a really great point, actually. Feeling comfortable, trusting your dental provider, that can make the whole experience less stressful. And it probably makes you more likely to actually call them if something does feel off, instead of putting it off.
Makes sense. So besides the checkups, what about everyday stuff? What simple steps does OmniDental recommend for just maintaining good oral health day to day?
They give some excellent, really practical advice. The cornerstone, no surprise, is brushing your teeth thoroughly. Twice a day.
With fluoride toothpaste?
Yep, with fluoride toothpaste. And flossing daily is just as vital. You got to get that plaque and food debris out from between your teeth where the brush can't reach.
Okay, brush twice, floss once. What else?
Diet. definitely plays a part. Limiting sugary snacks and acidic drinks, sodas, sports drinks, that kind of thing helps protect your enamel.
Right, the hard outer layer.
Exactly. And staying hydrated. Drinking plenty of water is good for overall health, but it also helps rinse your mouth and keep saliva flowing, which is like your mouth's natural cleaning system.
Good tip. Anything else?
A big one. Avoid tobacco products. Smoking, chewing tobacco, they're terrible for your gums, and increase risks for decay and oral cancer.
Definitely.
And finally, just sticking to those routine checkups at Omni Dental every 6 months. That's the key recommendation for being proactive.
So it really boils down to that combination. Good habits at home, consistently, plus that regular professional oversight and care.
That's it, exactly. These straightforward but effective steps can massively reduce your risk of developing serious dental problems and help you keep a healthy smile for, years to come.
So bringing this all together, I think the main message here is pretty clear, isn't it? Dental problems, they don't just fix themselves if you ignore them.
That's the core takeaway, absolutely. The information from Omni Dental really underscores that what seems minor can escalate into serious infections, potential tooth loss.
And even impacting your general health.
Right. Understanding these risks is just so fundamental for our long-term well-being.
And it's a really good reminder that things like maybe fear of the dentist or just being too busy, procrastination, those shouldn't stop us from taking care of our dental health.
Please don't let them.
Yep.
And practices like Omni Dental in Arlington Heights, Illinois, they offer the whole spectrum of care. From those vital routine checkups we talked about to more advanced treatments if you need them, like dental implants or root canal therapy. They're equipped to handle things if problems do arise.
So for our listeners, especially those in or near the Arlington Heights area, Omni Dental sounds like a really comprehensive place to go for dental care.
Based on their focus and the information they provide, yes. Their commitment seems to be towards thorough, personalized care.
So if someone listening has a concern, maybe a nagging ache, or even if it's just time for their regular checkup, what's the best way for them to connect with Omni Dental?
Super easy. You can call them directly. The number is 847-483-8833.
Okay, 847-483-8833.
Or you can just go online to their website and schedule an appointment right there. Taking that first step is honestly the most important part.
So the key takeaway for you, our listener, really is this. Getting timely dental care, finding a trusted practice like Omni Dental. It's absolutely fundamental. It preserves not just your smile, but your overall health and well-being too.
Well said.
So don't wait for a small issue to potentially become a big one. Take that first step towards a healthier smile and really a healthier you today.